Hey folks, thanks for tuning in again. We're going to go ahead and watch the third episode of Ratched, and as before, I'll be making comments as we go along as to anything that pertains to psychiatry. All right, let's start.
What are we doing?
We're following instructions, is what we're doing. Instructions for a treatment mandated by Dr. Hanover. And that will be the last question I answer from you, Nurse Ratched. Bring her here.
It's also important to note that for lobotomies or these kind of hot and cold treatments or medications or whatever, in years past, long time ago, maybe these things could be done with less than informed and full consent from the patient. These days, as far as medications go and other kinds of treatment, they can either be given only with the informed consent of the patient or an appropriate proxy if the patient isn't able to make that decision on a rational basis for themselves, or by a court order, or in an emergency situation where, for example, somebody is, acutely agitated, banging their heads on a wall, and an immediate safety concern requires a short-term administration of an emergency treatment. Clearly, this doesn't seem to fall into any of those categories. The patient hasn't been told what's going on, the risks and benefits of the treatment, what the treatment is, and is therefore, in this case, not really able to make an informed decision regarding the treatment. So just because she's going along with it doesn't mean that she actually is giving her consent. So these days, this approach would not be acceptable for any kind of treatment, let alone something that appears to be experimental or not well established. By the way, there is no such treatment like this today, so rest assured that this is not practiced in modern medicine at all.
Have you heard of lysergic acid? And I introduced and found myself staring at the Godhead, the center of the universe.
So LSD is, or lysergic acid, is not used as part of any FDA-approved treatment for any mental health condition in the United States today. There's some ongoing investigations about its applicability to certain kinds of mental illnesses, but certainly not for sexual paraphilias like this patient exhibits. And so that would be considered way outside of the bounds of normal medicine. I'm not sure how you would have gotten LSD back in the 1940s, but these days a doctor certainly wouldn't prescribe it and certainly wouldn't administer it.
With the medical equipment I had with me in the saw, I sliced off the arm that was broken, sewed the gardener's arms onto his. But
the amount of bleeding that you would have if you severed your both arms like that, you certainly wouldn't be, smiling and looking coherent for long enough for a person who also is very high to suture the arms on. In addition to, just sewing the arms on isn't going to stop the bleeding either. So it's almost certainly the case that this person would die if this is what had happened in real life.
you didn't.
All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll do the next episode very soon.